Okay. So finding a nice comfortable seat and giving yourself a few moments to settle into the chair. You might give yourself a little space away from the backrest, keeping the spine nice and tall. But if you need the support and it feels better to lean back, then you can absolutely use that support as well. You can get your feet nice and flat on the floor. Feel that firmness of the ground below. And then even out the weight between both sides of your body. And take a few breaths here. The hands can be wherever they feel most comfortable. Palms up, palms down. They can be on your thighs or sort of together in your lap. As you take the few breaths, you might soften the shoulders down. You might soften the jaw, the forehead, anywhere else in your face that feels a little bit of tension. Consciously soften anything that feels okay to soften. And then you might close your eyes for a few moments as we start to bring the awareness inward. You might notice the parts of your physical body that are looking for some attention. Acknowledging those areas. And then bringing your awareness to your breath. As you bring your awareness to your breath, noticing the cycle of your breath, noticing your own rhythm. Staying with that idea of following the inhale and the exhale as it moves through you. And then you might start to expand the breath. Maybe starting with allowing the breath to move deeper. Maybe breathing down into your pelvis. Maybe expanding the breath all the way around through the front and back and sides of the torso. Maybe expanding the breath further into the shoulders, down into the hips. You might expand the breath up towards the top of your head. Through the arms down towards the fingertips. Down the legs to the tips of the toes. Eventually allowing your whole body to breathe. And then bringing your awareness slowly back to the space around you, back to the room. And then we'll start our gentle movement. Starting with the head, with your next exhale, tipping the chin towards the chest. Then inhaling to lift the head up. Moving with your breath a few times. And when you feel balanced the next time, let your head come back to center. And then we'll move from side to side as you exhale, looking over one shoulder. Inhaling back to center when you're ready. And then exhaling over the other shoulder. Continuing again to move with your breath. When you feel balanced again the next time, let your head come back to center. Pause for a moment. And then we'll move the head in circles directed by the nose. So imagine drawing a circle with your nose in the air. And then switch directions when you're ready. Then let your head come back to center again. Give yourself that time to pause. And then let's move into the shoulders. Rolling the shoulders in whichever direction feels most natural first. And then rolling the other way when you're ready. I know that. Pull your shoulders. And then release your shoulders down when you're ready. Pause for a moment, give yourself a chance to settle the shoulders. And then we'll shrug the shoulders a few times, inhaling up towards the ears, exhaling to release. Twice more. Excuse me. And releasing the shoulders down when you're ready. And let's move into the elbows a little bit. We'll do a little bit of movement within sort of from shoulders to fingertips, which is called nerve flossing. And it might bring some tingling into the different fingers, but the idea is freeing up the nerve from any impingements. And I think it takes time, but we'll kind of play with a few different exercises. But let's start with something we have done before. We'll stretch the arms wide, palms facing up, and then we'll exhale to bring the fingertips towards the shoulders. We'll do that about twice more in this direction. And then we'll stretch the arms forward and make the same movement, bending at the elbows to bring fingertips towards the shoulders. And then releasing the arms, releasing the shoulders. Let's move down into the wrists. We'll find a few wrist circles while we're here. And then switching directions, rolling the wrists the other way. And then shaking out the hands, shaking out the wrists. So the first variation of this idea of flossing the nerves or nerve flossing is to hold one hand up as though you're holding a serving tray out to the side. And then keep your hand in this position. So we're sort of stretching the fingertips towards the forearm, right? We're stretching the fingertips back or the whole hand back. Keep that position as you straighten the arm out. So the fingertips are going to end up reaching towards the floor. And then we'll move. So you might inhale to stretch. Exhale to bring it back. Keeping your hand in that serving position. And then let's release that hand. We'll switch sides. Other hand, starting off holding your serving tray. And then keep your hand in that position with that angle as you stretch the arm away. So fingertips are going to end up reaching towards the ground if your arm's fully extended. And then release that arm when you've done about 3. We'll come back to the first side. This one's a little bit tricky to explain. See how I do. Bring the tip of your finger to the tip of your thumb. And it's not a really strong holding. It's just kind of a gentle bringing the tip of the first finger and thumb together. And then do you remember as kids that we used to, rather than make the glasses this way, you kind of flipped your fingers upside down, that kind of idea? That's where we're aiming to bring kind of upside down glasses. We'll do one arm at a time, and it's still a stretching motion. So your arm starts off with your thumb and finger towards each other, outstretched. And then we're bringing the pinky side of your hand towards your face with the idea of bringing your thumb and forefinger around your eye. So it might not reach. It's just that idea of bringing them towards your face. Stretching out, pinky fingers towards your cheek. It's a weird one, I know. So if you're feeling a little bit of tingling in the ring and pinky fingers, that's the nerve we're working with in this exercise. Okay, so if it was complicated with one hand, let's try the other hand. Thumb and first finger together. If you want to do a little test, we're bringing kind of pinky finger towards the cheek. Upside down glasses. We'll stretch the arm out. And then as you bend, bringing the pinky finger towards the cheek. All right, that's enough of that one. We'll release that. Last one, with one hand down beside your hip. They called this one, I forget what it was called, but the idea was like somebody sneaking you money. Grabbing money, tip position or something, or I don't know. Anyway. So the hand is down by your side, and then you're just bending at the wrist to reach the fingertips and palm back. Ready to receive. And then shake that out. We'll do the other side. So other arm reaching down by your side. Stretching fingertips and palm back. And then releasing. Ready to receive your money on the other side. Somebody's slipping you a tip. All right, shake out the hands. If you want to find a couple more wrist circles, you can find some wrist circles or wiggle out the fingers. Moving into the upper back. So let's find some shoulder blade movement. As usual, you can find the position that makes the most sense for your body and gives you best access. So you might be able to access your shoulder blades without the help of your elbows. If you want to use the elbows as a kind of an accentuation tool, then you can have hands to your waist or palms facing the floor, elbows bent, or have the arms up higher, palms or fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. So whichever variation makes the most sense for you. We'll move 3 times. Inhaling to draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then exhale to release them. Then release the shoulders, release the shoulder blades. We'll aim to move the shoulder blades. We usually have worked on sliding them towards each other, so it's kind of on a lateral plane for a little while. Now we'll aim to slide them a little bit up and down. We'll use the arms again to begin. Bring your arms a little bit forward, elbows bent, palms can kind of face each other. And then we'll start slowly to reach the arms up. But while you reach the arms up, see if you can bring your awareness to your shoulder blades, see what's happening behind you. And then bring the arms down again. Start to feel if you can sense the shoulder blades sliding up and down your back with the movement of the arms. Then you can also play with one at a time. See if one gives you a little more access or moves a little more easily than one side or the other side. Just giving yourself really a chance to notice what you feel. A little more awareness of how your body moves or doesn't move, where stuck areas are, where things move well. You might go back to both if you've been playing with one side at a time. And then bring the arms down. Release the shoulders, release the shoulder blades. And then we'll get into our usual spinal movements. So let's find a little bit of a side bend. And let's start off, I like the arms wide. It's one of the most, I think, the clearest way to move. So reaching arms wide, keeping the sit bones really nice and heavy. Reach the fingertips up and away. And then as you exhale, tip over to one side. Inhale back up when you're ready. Exhale over to the other side. Inhaling back up when you're ready. And then release the arms. Pause for a moment, give yourself a chance to notice sensations in the side of the body or anywhere else that you're feeling sensation. And then we'll find our twist. Settling the legs onto the floor, feet onto the floor. Knees and hips stay stable, about the same distance even as we twist. With an inhale, reach the crown of the head up. As you exhale, turning the shoulders towards one side. You can walk your hands along your leg if you like, or reach for the seat of the chair. You can also, if it feels okay, look over your back shoulder. Keep the breath as smooth as possible. If anywhere feels compressed, which probably it does in a twist, see if you can use your breath to create a little more space, especially in the ribs. And then let's unwind. Make your way back to center. Give yourself a moment to pause again. Reset. And then we'll move into our twist on the other side. So nice tall inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, turning the other way. Walking the hands along the leg or thigh, maybe reaching for the seat of the chair. Maybe looking over the back shoulder. Smooth breath. Breathing into areas of tightness. Maybe finding a little more freedom, a little more expansion. And then unwinding when you're ready. Make your way back to center. Pause for a moment. And then we'll move into our arching and rounding of the back, letting the hands come towards the knees. This time with an exhale. Push the air out as you draw the belly in. Round the spine, spread the shoulder blades apart. And then with your inhale, bring the heart forward and draw the shoulders back. Moving with your breath, exhaling to round the spine like a Halloween cat or a wood bug. Inhaling to bring the heart forward. And then making your way back up to your tall spine. Pause for a breath. A little bit of core work. Either pushing the hands to the knees and drawing the knees up to the hands, if that variation works for you. Breathing within that static pose. Or you can come to the edge of your seat, lean back, and find your boat pose. Legs lift as you lean back. So finding your variation and breathing. If you're in the boat pose, see if you can keep your chest wide, your shoulders broad, and keep the tension out of the neck and the face as much as possible while you breathe. And let's release the legs or release the hands from the legs. Fold forward, find a couple of breaths, releasing the work. And then slowly making your way back up. Twice more, finding your position. Either hands to knees, knees to hands, finding this compression. Or leaning back in your chair, drawing the knees up towards you, boat pose. Whichever variation you're playing with, breathe. And then releasing the legs down or releasing the hands from the knees. Give yourself a chance to fold forward again. Softening away the work. And then last one, your version. Hands to knees, knees to hands, or finding your boat pose. Breathe. One more full breath cycle. And release the legs or release the hands. Find that fold forward again. Breathe. Breathe into the low belly. Breathe into the waist, sides of the waist. Breathe into the low back. And then make your way back up and we'll move into one more core exercise where we bring opposite elbow and knee towards each other. So elbows at the ready. We'll inhale and center, always when we're back kind of into a symmetrical position. And then as we exhale, we'll bring the opposite arm and or elbow and knee towards each other. They don't have to touch. Inhaling center. Exhale to find that cross body action, the more of the squeeze. Inhaling in center. Exhaling. Maybe one more full round. And release the arms, release the elbows once you feel balanced again, but even on both sides. You might again find the folding forward to soften away the work in the belly and the waist and the low back, and let go of the work. And then we'll move into the legs. Starting with whichever side you choose, we'll lift the knee and find some circles in the hip. And then switching directions, circles the other way. And we'll bring the knee forward, keep the thigh still, move the lower leg. And then switching directions, circles the other way. And then finding some ankle circles. Switching directions when you're ready. And then pointing and flexing the foot a few times. Flexing and stretching the toes a few times. And then releasing the foot down. Give yourself a moment to pause. And then we'll switch sides. Other leg lifts, finding some circles in the hip. Switching directions when you're ready. And then we'll bring the knee forward and find some lower leg circles. And then switching directions, circles the other way. And then ankle circles on this side. Switching directions when you're ready. Pointing and flexing a few times. Flexing and stretching the toes a few times. And then releasing that leg down. Pause, give yourself a moment to notice differences from one side to the other, and just generally to notice sensations. And then we'll move through our seated flow. So hands can either start off on your thighs or down by your sides. With an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up as high as feels comfortable for shoulders. Exhale to release the hands down again. Stretching the front of the body, inhale to bring the heart forward and the shoulders back. Exhale to round the spine, Halloween cat shape or wood bug curling in. Inhale all the way back up to your tall seat. Exhale to fold. With an inhale, stretching or reaching the right arm up into a twist, following the hand with your eyes, and then exhale all the way down again. And switching sides, inhaling the left arm up, following the hand with your eyes, and then exhaling down. Coming all the way back up, sweep the arms, reach as high as feels comfortable for shoulders, and then release the hands. Pause for a moment, breathe. Again, inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale to release the hands down. Stretching the front of the body, bring the heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale to round, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling all the way back to your tall seat. And then exhaling to fold. Sweeping the right arm up into a twist, follow the hand with your eyes. And then exhale the hand down again. Other side, inhaling the arm up into a twist, follow the hand with your eyes. And then exhale down. Coming all the way back, sweeping the arms. Releasing the hands. Take a breath. Last one. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, stretch the front of the body, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round the back, Halloween cat shape. Inhaling back to neutral. Exhaling to fold. Inhale the right arm up into a twist. Follow the hand with your eyes. And then exhale down again. Other side, inhaling the hand up. Follow the hand with your eyes. And then exhale down. Coming all the way back up. Sweep the arms as high as feels good. Release your hands. Before we come to standing for balance, we'll do one more seated pose for a variation of eagle pose. So if it feels okay to cross your left leg over your right, we'll find that. If it doesn't feel okay, then you can cross shins or leave the legs flat on the floor as well. Sort of find a squeeze of the thighs together a little bit as long as your legs are crossed. And then we'll sweep the arms wide and sweep the left arm underneath the right. And then either holding opposite shoulders, if that feels okay, or backs of the arms can come together or towards each other. Or you can imagine twist tying the hands. So in any of these variations, the elbows reach up and away from you. If the hands are away from the face, we just turn so you can see. If the hands are not on the shoulders, if they're sort of in this either back of the hands towards each other position or twist tied, then you'll stretch the hands away from your face and reach up towards the ceiling. Don't forget to breathe. And And then we'll release the arms, release the legs. You might stretch the arms wide before releasing them. And then we'll find that same position on the other side. So if crossed legs feels okay. This time, right comes over the left. We'll stretch the arms wide. The right arm comes underneath left. Holding opposite shoulders, or backs of the hands towards each other, or imagine they can twist tie. Again, I'll turn this way so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. We'll reach the elbows up and away, and then if the hands are not on your shoulders, if they're towards each other, then we'll send the hands up and towards the ceiling. And breathe. Stretching into the backs of the shoulders. And then we'll release the arms, release the legs. You might stretch the arms wide again. Releasing down. Now let's come to standing. Using the backrest of the chair. As support if necessary, if you'd like. Then we'll step the feet wide. Turn the toes out. And if it feels okay to bend into the knees, we'll bend into the knees. And then again, we'll use the arms as long as it feels okay to let go of the chair. If it doesn't feel okay to let go of the chair, then maybe we'll just work with the legs, bending into the legs to any degree that feels okay. If it feels okay to play with the arms, then we'll sweep one arm across the body, across the chest, and then open it up again. And then we'll switch sides, sweeping the other arm across the body, across the chest, and then open it up again. Maybe once more each side, reaching one arm across the body, and then wide again. Reaching the other arm across the body, and then wide again. And we'll release the arms, release the legs, turn the toes forward. This time, let's stretch the right arm up overhead, and then we'll drop the hand either to the head or behind the head, depending on what feels okay, with the idea of reaching the right elbow up towards the sky. Now the left hand, we have a few choices. We can just leave it out of the way. It can be on the hip or down by your side. If it would feel good to reach for that elbow and help it along, that's an option, but only if it feels okay for shoulders. The other option would be to reach the back of the hand to your back and sort of slide the hand up as though the fingertips could reach. If they do reach, they might be able to grasp each other. Breathing wherever you are. And then let's release again. Release, stretch wide, release the arms down. And then we'll switch sides. Left arm reaches up. The hand can drop to the head or behind the head. The idea of reaching the left elbow up towards the sky. Right arm can stay out of the way, down by your side or on your waist. Or it can come to assist that elbow if that feels okay. Or the back of the right hand can slide up as though your fingertips could reach. And then release both arms, maybe stretching them wide before releasing to the ground, or releasing down by your sides rather. All right, a little bit of balance. Let's stand on the foot closest to the chair. And we'll let the outside leg lift a little bit. Toes can stay on the ground or the whole foot can lift. Picking the knee up as high as feels okay. Then maybe straightening the leg out and lifting as high as feels okay. Keep breathing. Maybe finding a little bit of lightness in the hand supporting you. Then we'll release the leg down. Find any wiggle or jiggle that feels necessary, and then we'll switch sides. Other leg supports you. Outside leg lifts. Toes can stay on the floor or the knee can lift. Finding your balance here first. Remembering to breathe. And then stretching the leg out, lifting as high as you can. Maybe the supportive hand gets just a little lighter. And then releasing the leg down. Wiggling out the hips if that feels necessary. Finding any counter movement that would feel good. At this point, it might feel nice to come into a downward dog using the backrest of your chair. You can also use the seat of the chair if you like. Or the floor if it's in your practice. We'll walk the feet back. Tailbone reaches back, crown of the head reaches towards the chair. Knees can bend as generously as you like. Give yourself lots of space in the spine. And then we'll make our way towards the chair again. Pausing for a moment here and deciding if there's any other movement you'd like to make before we settle back into the chair for closing. So any last movements, any last shapes? What would feel good in your body before coming to rest? There's one shoulder movement we didn't really get to, which is reaching the arms behind. So that might feel nice, just reaching the arms behind you. If you have a tea towel or a strap or a belt that you can hold, that might feel nice to hold something between your hands. If you can easily clasp your hands and that feels good, that's another option. Stretching into the fronts of the shoulders a little bit. Releasing when you're ready. Once you've satisfied any last movements that feel good, then we'll make our way back to the chair again. As you come back to the chair, if it would feel good to rest against the backrest, then you may find that softness. The hands can rest where they feel good, palms up, palms down. Eyes can be open or closed. Give yourself this time and space to just breathe. Allow your awareness to move inward. Follow your breath. As we move to close practice, your hands can stay where they are or come over your heart or into a prayer position. Sending gratitude to yourself first for making the time to move and breathe together, for honoring your body and your breath. With gratitude for allowing me to guide you through practice this morning. And with much gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us. Om Shanti. Shanti Shanti. Om Peace. Peace, peace. Thank you.